Welcome to the Dark Somnium. This story is by the Reddit user Jason Dalton, titled Warning, Don't Go In to Black Star Canyon. If you're currently living in Southern California, do not go into Black Star Canyon. I'm posting this here because I know you guys have a fascination with the supernatural and other generally creepy things. If you read nothing else in this post, I want you to at least know not to go there. I'm beginning to become convinced it's really dangerous. For those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, Black Star Canyon is a popular trail in Orange County, California. If you live in the area, you know what I'm talking about. It's commonly known as the most haunted place in the entire state. Even skeptics like me get creeped out about the canyon. If you're looking for a place with a bad history, this is it. In the 1800s, settlers massacred the native Shoshone tribe living there. On top of that, there were several notorious murders committed in the canyon during the gold rush days, the most famous being the killing of James M. Gregg. That's not all. The place has a history with secret KKK meetings, cult meetings, and even relatively recently a bus of school children was accidentally run off the road, falling into the canyon where all the passengers perished. The bus is still there today. So, Indian burial ground? Check. Occult meetings? Check. School tragedy? Check. I'm serious. You can Google all of this if you want to know more. There's even rumors of a man who will shoot you if you go too close to his property. During the day, it's a popular hiking spot. It's got bike paths, a cool waterfall, the works. At night, it becomes something entirely different. Just because of all the rumors, more reasonable people stay away. And high schoolers and college students mostly come just to do stupid dares with their friends. Haunted or not, generally a good idea to steer clear at night. I've only been a few times. Normally, I take all the rumors with a giant grain of salt. I'm not really one for superstition. Though, at night, even without the ghost stories, the place is chilling. Because of the way the canyon is shaped, you can hear a pin drop. It's so quiet. Until the wind. When a gust of wind blows, it howls like you've never heard. So, why am I telling you all this? Last night was my last time going there. I'll just tell you what happened. That's the only way to do it justice, really. Because it's about Halloween time, my friends and I got the idea to go down into the canyon at night, mostly just for the chills. We decided to walk down to the old school bus, so we drove down to the mouth of the trail, where there's a big rusted gate to stop any cars from driving further. We parked, got out, and climbed under the gate to continue on to the trail. We were a group of 3 college guys, so we weren't too worried about anyone trying to mess with us. We began to walk down the main trail with our flashlights towards the school bus. I'd actually never been that far into the canyon before, but I wasn't at all scared. We mostly joked, and threw rocks into nearby bushes to freak each other out. Everything was going pretty well, until we actually got to the bus. As we got further and further into the canyon, the air got colder and colder. The wind started howling. Except this time, it was way colder than usual. I had to tuck my arms in between my sides to keep warm. Our breath became visible and cloudy in the air, which is pretty rare in October in California. But we kept pressing on. We weren't going to let the wind and cold spook us out this far in. We finally could see the bus from a distance with our flashlights. It's tipped over against a tree, grown over with weeds and heavily graffitied. We all had the chills. Knowing the story, and standing there in the pitch dark was frightening for anyone. We all just stood there, looking at the corpse of an old school bus. None of us really had much to say. When we had enough of it, we turned back. That's when the night started to go sour. We had made our way far enough from the bus that it was practically out of sight. All 3 of us began to hear moaning. It sounded like kids trying to grasp for air. We assumed it was the wind and kept walking, until a bright light started blinking. It was like it was coming from the headlights of the bus, only that was impossible. The headlights had been gone for years. At this point, we decided someone was messing with us, but we didn't want to find out. My 2 friends urged me to keep walking, but I felt pulled to the bus. The noises coming from the area were drawing me in. I wanted to leave, with every bone in my body. but I felt physically compelled to go back. The headlights kept flashing. On, off, on, off. It was hypnotizing. I don't even know how to properly describe it. Eventually I snapped out of it and began walking much more quickly back to the car with my friends. No one was talking. What were those lights? In my mind, I rationalized that it was probably some other kids with flashlights, but I'm doubting that now. As we got about halfway back to the car, I noticed someone following us from the distance. What looked like a man was standing about 100 yards behind us, motionless. I guessed he must have been a jogger or someone out for a late night run, but I knew that wasn't true. I didn't tell my friends about him. We were all creeped out enough and he wasn't threatening us. But every time I looked behind me, it seemed he had inched closer to us. I tried to ignore him. And finally, I could see the car again. I just wanted to get back. When we had finally made it, my friends began to climb into the car. When they noticed the man too, now he was standing right at the edge of the gate. It was too dark to see any of his features, but I took a few steps forward with my flashlight and asked him if he needed something from us. When my light hit him, I froze. He looked nearly identical to me. Same hair, same face, same clothes, only a little taller and sickly looking, like a real-life doppelganger. He was giving me the 1,000-meter stare. His dead-looking eyes locked right onto mine. I slowly backed away and ran back to the car. I didn't even know what to say to my friends. I just saw myself, or did I? I just told them everything was okay, but we should probably get going. They sped out back onto the streets, and even though we had gotten our distance from the doppelganger, I still didn't feel totally safe. I've heard lots of rumors about the things that happen in Black Star Woods. This phenomenon was new to me. But that's not even the weirdest part. When I came home from class this evening, I had a Facebook notification. It was from my ex. She lives in a town called Koto de Casa. We hadn't talked in months, so it was kind of weird. The message read, "Hey, what were you doing in Koto last night?" Yeah, here's the thing. I wasn't. I'm debating filing a police report. I haven't responded to the message yet. The thing I want is other people to get involved. I'm just not sure though. I don't even know if I'm perceiving everything right. All I do know is don't go into those woods. I hope this is all over. I'll update you if anything develops. I hope you like this video. And if you like my narrations, be sure to like and subscribe so I can spend more time creating narrations and music for you. Have a good night.